Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's the internet, so time is relative. Welcome to another episode of Walnut Grove Cultural Conversations, where Stephen and I take a seat and have a conversation about different things going on in our world and our communities, and looking at them through the eyes of small local pastor, through the eyes of a Christian, trying to figure out how to navigate these waters we call life. I was trying to think of different concepts, different things to think about, and I had this thought about there's all of these local businesses, restaurants, and mom and pop stores and churches, right? What is the stat about how many churches will close? What is that?
Yeah, Barna, David Kinnaman's research company, they said, this is old, so in the midst of that, but 1 in 5 they're looking at will not make it through COVID.
One in 5 churches.
20% of churches.
Yeah, 20% of churches won't make it through COVID just because people aren't coming, people aren't giving the way they did, or they've, kind of fallen out of the habit. And so that's just the church. But we were thinking about how, with our communities, with our local businesses, how do we as Christians do what we know we should in supporting the world around us, making it flourish? And so we came up... Yeah, go ahead.
I heard this on the radio not too long ago. Remember Prime Day came through. Right. And Prime Day is probably better, but you can shop on Prime and you get things for cheap and you get things free. Yeah. You get to use all the benefits of Prime, even if you're not a member.
Yeah.
And the local businesses had to pull together to put a radio ad out there, which I happened to listen to, saying, wait a second, no. Don't just do that. Don't just mindlessly click the button and disengage from your local community. And so we're in this place of what do we do as Christians? How do we respond when there's this great need and people are hurting? And all the talk is, man, we're going to lose this business or this church.
Yeah, so what do we do? Because here's the thing. We understand funds are limited, right? I know we might get a $2,000 stimulus, a $600...
Maybe both.
Maybe both. I don't know. But it's not like we're rolling in cash, because odds are you're affected by this as well. Work is looking different. So what are some things that we can do other than just patronizing these places? And we came up with 3 different thoughts that we had that we're going to explain to hopefully help you guys maybe do this a little better. And so the first one was...
Don't ghost your community.
Yeah.
Right?
Let's not ghost them. Don't disappear. What I mean by that is, we as pastors, one of the things that we've tried to do here at Walnut Grove is to make sure that we're engaging with people who are, who aren't comfortable with coming here in person. And so that's giving phone calls, shooting texts out. And it's amazing how many times forwarded to voicemail or no message back. They've turned Caspers on us, right? And we do that to local businesses too, right? Because I get, for my wife and I, it's sometimes easier to not go out to eat because it's not as safe, and we get that. Yeah. And, I made a joke. We went and had Olive Garden because we had a gift card. Olive Garden needs ambiance. It needs the restaurant. We ate our pasta fagioli.
It needs the fake Italian decor. Shockingly.
Yes. Turns out our late model minivan does not take me to Old Napoli.
Did you put a little candle in the middle console?
Yes, exactly.
A little tablecloth?
Oh, it is horrible.
Set the mood.
The amount of times I've eaten in a van this year is shocking. But don't ghost. Make sure that you're engaging with the places. Do those things. And that leads to our second one, right? Don't neglect. Mm-hmm. And what that concept is if they're doing some kind of ad campaign, or if they're posting things online, right? We're posting this online, or they're saying, hey, we got this sale going out, right? Engage with that. Like it, share it.
I think a lot of this too is like not neglecting means seeing the value in things even if you're not able to use them right now. And so if you have a business that has been faithful to you and has been solid, or a church community that's really been an important part of your life, see the value in that even if you're not able to engage in the same way.
Yeah, exactly. Because, I mean, that goes, I mean, we were talking about the 1 in 5 churches, right?
Yeah, I don't know the stats on small business.
Yeah, but small business is probably even worse.
Yeah.
And you think about it, right? Like, we're posting this up. I don't know if you know who Craig Rochelle is, or Timothy Keller, or John Piper, Steve Furtick, all these big names, Francis Chan, right? Like, we get you can go and do that and watch that video.
Yeah.
But there's also value in us sitting here in a library trying to get bookshelf credibility, trying to say, hey, this is the things that are going on. It is real, by the way. This I can't afford green screen.
Not a set.
So, but we just wanted you to know, like, make sure that you see the value in small business. Yes, it may cost more, right, to get that can of Campbell's chicken noodle soup. Or yes, it may, you know, it may be easier to have DoorDash bring it to you.
Gosh.
Yeah, I wish we had that in where I lived.
This is convicting because I'll be honest, like, this doesn't come naturally. Because, like, I'm a price point person.
Yes.
You know, like, maybe you're a couponer out there and, like, you're like, no, I'm sorry, I'm going for the cheapest thing. It's just this more long-term thing of, like, we need these businesses, we need these places of worship, we need local community to thrive so that, man, who else is hiring?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, this is
I mean, your local life, right? How many towns, we are here in central Illinois, in Coles, Douglas, Edgar County. You drive through these towns and you hear stories about how they were once thriving metropolises, and now, like, there's a tumbleweed going down Main Street. And it's sad, and we get that, and hopefully that doesn't happen on a larger scale because of this COVID world we're living in, and hopefully we can stave that off by not neglecting. And the third one was...
don't assume. And what we kind of mean by that is don't assume that other people know what's happening in your community. Be an advocate for things that you find value in, and be an advocate through social media, through inviting your friends and family to engage where you can safely. But we've noticed this at church, right? We've had people who have been lifelong members of Walnut Grove who, after, how long have we been inside?
I don't know, a few months now.
Who still are like, what time's your what time's the service? And we get that because it's hard with all of the different communication channels to make sure everyone's hit. But man, like, don't assume someone knows.
Yeah.
You know, drop someone a text message and say, hey, this is what's going on.
Yeah, and don't assume that people know that the business is there, right? Like, I'm sure if you go down Main Street, USA, and you walk into one of the stores there, they can all tell you, yeah, we've been here for 25 years, and someone who lives across the street just came in last week and was like, I didn't know this place was here. What a hidden gem. Don't let gyms be hidden, I think is what we're talking about, right? Like, don't be a jerk online where all you're doing is, like, sharing things. I think of... I think
like your unsolicited Yelp reviews.
Yes,
on,
like
no one asked you.
I think it's the Ron Swanson thing. He's like, I don't advocate things. Ron Swanson from Parks and Rec. He says, I don't advocate things but you know when I do, my word is worth something. Yeah. Like, be that kind of person, right? Let your yes be yes and your no be no is the biblical principle. Yeah. But on top of that, just like, let people know what's going on in our community. Let them know that there's this place, right? Like, one of the biggest things that my wife and I have been advocating is in Arcola, Illinois, there is a Hispanic grocery store, and in the back corner they sell tacos and tamales. Yeah. And they're dynamite. And we've been telling people about it because it's a grocery store. You wouldn't assume that they have tacos and tamales.
Freshly made.
Yeah, and they're great and authentic and... Yeah. And that's one of the big things, right? It's like advocate something, or advocate for.
Or I mean, one thing where you spend more time than I do, but like even just having a locally owned coffee shop, like Broomtown, like it's great.
Yes, there's value in having a living town, and so we just encourage you on those 3 things. Can you run us through the 3 things again?
Yeah, don't ghost, don't neglect, and don't assume.
Exactly. Those are the things that we need to be doing. If you can think of any other things that might help, put those in the comments. Put those, share those things. Like, hey, we realize that there is an issue. Unemployment is at staggering high numbers, and you know maybe it's not affecting you, but you can sit there and say, hey, like these businesses are in need of help, or they're
find the need.
Find the need, and then engage with that. But tell us down below, like, hey, these are the things that I've been doing. And then if you see one that you like, in the comments or something that we've said here, go ahead and share that out. And I think it's just a huge responsibility as Christians, as human beings, as part of a society, to find the value in the things that actually have value. Yeah. And sure, I could tell my son that Jeff Bezos is Santa because all of Christmas came in an Amazon box. But, there's something valuable about, local people who are doing local things, who are, where they live. That's one of the things that we live in a small town community. People know where those people live, and they know their names, and their kids went to school together. There's a value in supporting that.
There's almost this added accountability, too. Of, I want to value you as a customer or you as a person because you're not a nameless Amazon purchase.
Exactly.
I don't think Jeff knows you personally, Bezos.
No.
You guys doing Christmas together?
I'm trying, but not yet.
Jeff, send the Amazon plane to my. We have plenty of space.
Yes.
Come pick us up.
But yeah, so
shout out.
Yes. So not a sponsor.
No.
So
shockingly not on the shop local aspect here.
So seriously, we hope that this is something that you guys can engage with, and we'll see you guys around next time. God bless and cheers.
Cheers.